intense. This is where the title is decided by the different things that happen here, there, everywhere. This is where you have the EPL, crunch time. This is where you have FA Cup, crunch time. This is where you have the Carabao Cup, crunch time. This is where you have the Champion League, crunch time. It's not playing around. We have another transfer window for January. Some teams may be taking advantage. Some don't mind. Some feel like they're okay. They don't need to do anything right now. Well, let us see. Because the thing with a lot of these, let us say the season for each team, it gets intense as it goes along. And as it goes along, you have the injuries to contend with. You have player fatigue. You have squad rotation. You have tactics that is outplayed. And other teams have already read that and can match you man for that. There's so many things that coaches have to bear in mind when it reaches January, because this is where you either win or lose, make or break yourself. So we all know that Arsenal is there in front in the EPL. But with the EPL, there's a little break right now from the English Premier League. So over the weekend, we have a few matches. FA Cup. The FA Cup is not something for you to take lightly, because the FA Cup has been around for a long time. And the FA Cup sort of put everybody in a little pool and give everybody a little chance to win something. The FA Cup has been around from 1871. 1871, that's 155 years ago. That's a very long time. That's a very long time. It has 92 teams engaged in it right across the whole English football system. That's how the FA Cup works. Now you will have the whole 20 coming from the EPL. Remember, we're going up to 92 teams. So you have the whole 20 coming from the EPL. And there's a little bit of hierarchy within the English football system. You have the EPL up here. You have the Championship. You have League 1, League 2, League 3, going down to the Nationals. So we have the 20 from the EPL, English Premier League, which is the creme de la creme. The best teams, the top 20 best teams within England. Then you have the Championship, 24 of those. League 1, 24 of those also. League 2, 24. That's how you get the 92. That's how you get the 92 teams playing in the FA Cup. And I must say, it is not something to take lightly. No, a lot of coaches opt to just lose the game intentionally, get out of it, because it's too much pressure on the players, and they are maybe concentrating on the Champions League or the domestic league, but surely not the FA Cup, not the domestic cups. They don't fancy it. A lot of coaches don't fancy it. I've seen that. I've seen big coaches just lose the game and say, hey, I don't want to be in that cup. Just lose the game intentionally. Maybe that's a plan. I don't know. Maybe it's okay to do so. I don't know. And we have seen a lot of teams that now in the Championship or in League 1. They were once in the Premier League. Sometimes it's bad management. Sometimes it's just bad coaching. Because I remember one year, Leicester City almost came out the EPL, and the very next year they won. What changed? Nothing changed. And then the other year it was problem again, because management wanted to do a lot within the coaching capacity. Sometimes you have to just leave a coach to do his work, and he will do his work. Now if he doesn't, then you take action. But for the board or the ownership wanted to do the actual coaching, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. Now, with the FA Cup, you will find that a lot of these small clubs take it very serious, because one, they want to show the world that they can compete with the highest. Yes, these coaches and managers want to show that they can compete with the highest. Now, the player himself wants to make a name for himself and he can move on from the small club to a bigger club. And I'm going to tell you a few players that move from some of these small clubs and they are giants in the game right now. So maybe retire, but some are still there. Coaches and managers also would like their teams to do good because, the football is actually a business. The football is actually a business. So if they have one or two players that are doing very good, let's say a player scores a hat trick and something magnificent, he did a bicycle canal, they will approach other teams and say, look, I've got a good player, he did well in this game, can I sell you him for a certain amount of money? And they will look into it. Some will go and you show tapes of the player, different previous matches and stuff. And we do business. It's all business. No club in Europe is there for just the fun and frolic. No, they are all there to make money. Money, money, money. That's how it goes. It's a business. So if you can remember, a player by the name of Gareth Bale. Gareth Bale left Southampton and went to Tottenham. Did very well with Harry Kane. Then he went to Real Madrid. Real Madrid. And he became a legend there. He won a lot of titles there for Real Madrid. He actually killed Liverpool while he was at Real Madrid. So you see, the talent is there, but at times the player won't win much until they move on to a bigger club or a bigger team. Gareth Bale from Wales left Southampton to Tottenham and then Real Madrid. Sometimes you leave in your club and fans will say, oh, he's so ungrateful. No. The player needs to maximize his talent and his profitability. It's not a matter of being ungrateful. Aaron Ramsey, he left Cardiff and went to Arsenal. And for those of you that have been watching football long before Arteta, you will understand Aaron Ramsey. He left from Cardiff to Arsenal. Cardiff, little team. Arsenal, big team. And there are times these big clubs just see the talent, they buy it very cheap. They buy the talent very cheap. But when they are selling back the player, if they get the chance to, it's maximum profit. Maximum profit for this player. Theo Walcott. Theo Walcott left Southampton for Arsenal also. You see, Southampton is one of those teams that they just love to sell. They're always selling their good players. Southampton. Yeah. Theo Walcott left Southampton for Arsenal. Did his best. He did his best. Again, those of you that have been watching Arsenal and you're an Arsenal fan long before Arteta, you will know who I'm talking about. Okay. Alexander Chamberlain. He left Southampton also for Arsenal. Buying for a small fee, upgrade his talent, his skill, and then he sold him to Liverpool. He did well at Liverpool. He did pretty well at Liverpool, but as I'm saying, a lot of these players are very talented, but the club that they are at, they won't maximize their potential. They won't maximize their potential until they move on. A lot of them won't get games at some of these clubs because the squad is very big. The position that you play, you're like the third choice, fourth choice. You cannot play out of position well. So a lot of players prefer to move on rather than just be sitting at the bench. They want to play football. No footballer wants to just sit down for the entire season. No, they want to play some football. John Stones. a man from Barnsley in England. And John Stones, a very tall defender. He plays the defensive midfielder. He can also play that centre-back position. And I've seen where other clubs have played him at the right back. John Stones, he even played for England. But he came through. He came through Barnsley, then Everton, then Man City. And that is when he really, really stood out. He really stood out when he went to Man City. Pep Guardiola molded his career the way he wanted it. Pep Guardiola really, really made a player out of John Stones. Now, Joe Gomez. Joe Gomez came from Charlton Athletic. And there again, what I'm saying, I'm trying to show you that a lot of good players are in the lower leagues. They just need a better team to come through at a small price. Joe Gomez left Charlton Athletic, came to Liverpool. He's currently there. Joe Gomez has won the Premier League twice, the Champions League once. Would he have done that if he was at Charlton Athletic? No. Because the system at Charlton Athletic does not accommodate in any form of real competition. They don't have that amount of talent there. There are selling clubs. A lot of clubs are just selling clubs. We have Mikel Antonio, the Jamaican. Mikel Antonio, that Jamaican forward. Nottingham Forest to West Ham. And I really feel for Mikel because Mikel met in an accident driving his car in England. He was pretty shaken up. Feet damage and all. And he has not played much, neither for Jamaica nor for West Ham. I think he has moved on now, but Mikel Antonio also came through the lower ranks, Nottingham Forest, before Forest came back in the EPL. Demarai Gray, another Jamaican player. Birmingham, he's coming from Birmingham. You know, the thing with Jamaicans is that they are normally in England where you have a lot of fellow black players, like, you know, Birmingham and parts of England, parts of London. Yeah. So, Demarai Gray left Birmingham, played for Leicester City. And he was at Leicester City. And Leicester won the EPL, and everybody was wondering, how can a little team like Leicester just win the team? Demarai Gray was there. He was there. He was the one running through the middle with another player called Mahrez. Mahrez played for City. Kante was there also. Kante went to Chelsea. You understand? So, Leicester City came good. And when they came that good, all the value of the players went up. The values went up. And the management just started selling. Leicester never saw much success again because they sold all their good players. So it was all about this. It was all about that. I don't know why Vardy stayed. But Kante, that little French player that you see used to run up and down for Chelsea in the middle of the field, he was there. He was the midfield general along with Mahrez and Demarai Gray. They were great runners. And that is why Leicester won. Big up Demarai Gray. No, Virgil van Dijk from the Netherlands. One of the best centre-half the world has ever seen. Virgil van Dijk was at a club in the Netherlands called FC Groningen. FC Groningen. He then went to Celtic. That's in Scotland. Right? Then Van Dijk went to Southampton. Remember I told you, Southampton love to sell. It's all about this for Southampton. They're not really into the whole idea of winning this and winning that. No. Ching ching. So there we have it. Van Dijk then left Southampton, came to Liverpool. It was a record fee for a defender because Klopp had its scouts out there searching for a good centre back. They came up with Virgil van Dijk. As I said, small clubs normally have the solution for the big clubs. You just need the money. Virgil van Dijk has won the EPL twice, Champions League once with Liverpool. Virgil van Dijk, in his prime, played nearly every game one season for Liverpool. He was very difficult to pass. You're not passing Virgil van Dijk that easy. I can tell you that much. You're not going to pass him that easy. Big, tall centre back, 6'5", 6'7", thereabout. Very tall Dutch player. And that model has been copied by many other teams to have centre backs that are very, very tall. Yep. Sadio Mane, Senegalese forward. Sadio Mane came from Southampton also. Told you, Southampton love to sell. It's all about the ching ching. He came to Liverpool. He did well also. He won one Champions League, one EPL. Second, third. So he was very competitive in his field. Sadio Mane was a great striker for Liverpool. The coach, when he wanted to leave, the coach told him, Sadio, it's best you stay. You want to go to Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich is not going to show you much respect as a player. Liverpool would. And by the time Sadio went to Bayern Munich, he was out. Disciplinary reasons. He was out. I hate to say I told you so, but he was out in no time. But Sadio Mane is okay. He's playing for Senegal. They are in the AFCON semi-finals. He's doing good. And he's down by this in the Saudi league, doing very good with Cristiano Ronaldo. And who can forget Diogo Jota, that Portuguese footballer, that little man about 5'6", that little man that came from Atletico, then he went to Porto, then Wolves, then he went to Liverpool in 2020. With me back in Liverpool in 2020 until now. And I didn't hear when they bought him, but I saw this new person playing and I was like, who is that person? And by the time the game finished, he scored 3 goals. Very sharp, very, very sharp centre forward. Next game, 2 goals. The man's strike rate was very good. Diogo Jota, hats off to that man, hats off to Diogo Jota. His strike rate was very, very good. You don't need to give Jota 20 chances to score 1 goal. No, you just need maybe 1 or 2 chances. And he's going to score. That's Diogo Jota for me. That's a good striker for me. Diogo Jota. May his soul rest in peace, bro. May his soul rest in peace. Diogo Jota. Now, over the weekend, these games, man, upset. So you have a few upsets, yeah. We also have games going the way they were expected. Now, one of the first game up was Wrexham versus Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest being the game, the team in the EPL expected to win, though. That wasn't the case, yo. At one point, Forest was losing the entire game. They came back. The game ended 3-3. See the thing with the FA Cup, because everything is getting so tight now. You have to have a winner. You have to have a winner until someone misses it, go straight to penalty. extra time and all, but you have to have a winner. There's no replay because everything is so tight right now. Then you have the World Cup coming soon. So it went to penalties. Normally in penalties, I can tell you this. The side that is expected to win is going to lose because they are dejected. They think that they should have won the game already. There's a mixture of being tired, and just restless, hopeless. They just thought they should have won already. Wrexham came through and won it by penalties 4-3. 4-3. The big upset, though, was a side called Macclesfield. Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace is the champion for the FA Cup. And they are out in the third round as a champion. I don't know if the coach actually changed up the team and had, let's say, his B-side playing out there, thinking, yeah, we can just roll over these side. But as I said, these teams, when they're playing big clubs, they go really, really hard. Macclesfield. No one has ever heard about Macclesfield. But they beat the champions. They beat the champions 2-1. Didn't go to penalties. 2-1. Everton versus Sunderland. It's two EPL teams going at it right there. Game ended 1-1. As I said, there's no draw in FA Cup. Things getting too tight. So they had penalty shootout. And Sunderland won 3-0. You mean to tell me that David Moyes did not teach his men how to kick penalties? Is that the case? Is that the case that David Moyes did not teach his players how to take penalties, knowing that this is the FA Cup and he may go there? Because lower teams are not playing around now. They are not playing around. So there you have it. Everton out the FA Cup. By who? Macclesfield. Wolves versus Shrewsbury. Now Shrewsbury just a little team in League 2. League 2 meaning they have the EPL, they have the Championship, they have League 1 and League 2. So they are very, very low. Wolves not even in the EPL no more. Wolves gives them 6-1. We hope to see Wolves back in the EPL one of these days though. Southampton versus Doncaster. Doncaster is just a little side in League 1. That's the side in the third tier of the the English FA. English